Welcome back to another English lesson. I am worried about the people of Cuba. Ever since Maduro was taken out of Venezuela and Mexico has said they would no longer deliver oil to Cuba, Cuba has been in some really bad trouble. Mexico was being pressured by the United States to stop delivering that oil because the United States and Cuba have never gotten along, at least as long as I've been born. And I've been born for a long time. The trouble started way back in the 1960s when we had a president named John F. Kennedy and the Soviet Union was still around. They had Nikita Khrushchev. The Soviet Union wanted to put nuclear weapons in Cuba. Cuba is only about 90 miles away from the United States. It got so bad that a nuclear war almost happened. If you like improving your English and watching the news at the same time, you have come to the right place. Today, we are going to watch a newscast about Cuba and how they are going through some pretty tough times. If that sounds good to you, I'm going to go inside where I can teach English a little better. Please go ahead, subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you in just a minute.
Russian airlines now halting flights to Cuba because the island nation says it's run out of jet fuel. Here's what happened. Mexico cut off oil to Cuba after pressure from the Trump administration, but it's still sending humanitarian aid like essential food items. You'll remember that Venezuela was the top oil exporter to Cuba, but that ended after the U.S. military operation earlier this year. It's the latest step in an escalating energy crisis on the island. And our ABC News contributor and military analyst, Colonel Steve Ganyard, joins us now for a little more perspective here.
Okay, you've seen the first part of the newscast. Are you nervous for the people in Cuba as well? I do have a few people from Cuba who watch this channel, and I hope they are doing well. Okay, we need to get serious. I'm putting on the glasses. Let's talk about some of those difficult terms they used in the newscast. For each of these terms, I'll have the official definition. I'll have a picture that will help you understand, and I will use it in a sentence. Halting. That just simply means stopping. Take a look at this picture. I think we have a cute little boy here, and it looks like he has stopped in his tracks because of that dog. I mean, the dog looks friendly, but he's about as big as that child, so maybe the child is scared. The baby halted when they saw the dog down the street. Hey, I don't blame him. If I was that small, I would probably be scared too. Hey, we have a few English phrasal verbs. What does it mean to run out of something? Cuba, unfortunately, is close to running out of oil. Here is the official definition for this phrasal verb: to use all of something so that there is none left. And in the picture, it looks like that couple is out of milk. They have run out of milk. We need to go to the store because we have run out of milk. Stop. Look at this word, landslide. Do you think it means rocks falling down from a mountain? In the news, that is a big no. It means winning an election by a large amount. If you want to read the New York Times or watch CNN or Fox News, you need to know news English, or like I like to call it, headline-ese, like Chinese or Taiwanese. It's a foreign language. It's not like English from a textbook. And the best place to start is my free guide. It's called The 50 Words You Need to Know Before You Read the News. It teaches you the most important words for politics, crimes, elections, and so much more. It's totally free. There is a QR code right up there, or there is a link in the description. Now, back to the English lesson. Next, we have another English phrasal verb, to cut off. What does it mean if something is cut off? It means to stop the supply of something or to stop someone from speaking. If you look at that picture, it looks like the electricity has been cut off in that apartment. The electric company will cut off our power if we don't pay the bill. A big word here, humanitarian, and we are going to talk about humanitarian aid. Well, if you look at that big word, the first part is human. That might be a clue. The official definition: help, like food, water, or medicine, given to people in trouble or danger. The country sent humanitarian aid to the victims of the earthquake. And unfortunately, because of the issues the United States and Cuba have had, at least their governments, I mean, the people, I'm sure, are great. I know very few Cubans, but everyone that I do know, they are awesome people. It's always the government, right? I don't think the United States will be sending humanitarian aid to Cuba unless Cuba changes some things that maybe Trump wants to see. Essential. It is essential that you study your English almost every day if you want to get better at English. Let's talk about what essential means. Completely necessary, very important. And in the picture, we can see there is a glass of water. I mean, water might be the most essential thing to humans. I mean, we have a few things like oxygen and shelter, but water is right up there as one of the most essential things. Water is essential for life. We cannot live without it. Exporter. What is an exporter? That is a person, a company, or country that sells goods to another country. Here is an example. We know some very good coffee comes out of Brazil. Brazil is a major exporter of coffee to the rest of the world. Yeah, trouble between the US and Cuba is escalating. Let's talk about what escalating means. This might be review. It seems like we talk about this verb often. It means becoming worse, higher, or more serious very quickly. In the picture, we have two people who are arguing. The argument is escalating, so we should leave before a fight starts. It's unfortunate, but the people of Cuba are going through a crisis right now. They've been going through a crisis for a while, but that crisis is now escalating. A crisis, that is a time of great danger, difficulty, or confusion. In that sentence, you can see economic. Whenever you see economy or economic, think money. The economic crisis meant that many people lost their jobs. Contributor. Contributor. A contributor is a person who gives something, like money or ideas, to help achieve a result. You can see there is a young lady in the picture. She has her coffee right next to her. She is a regular contributor to the school magazine and writes articles every month. Analyst. That's how you say that next word. Analyst. That is someone whose job is to study or examine or analyze. That's the verb, something in detail. In that sentence, you will see financial. Whenever you see financial, think money. The financial analyst said that the company is doing very well this year. More perspective. And in that picture, you can see me and you can see my wife. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But if you get more perspective on something, it means a better or clearer way of looking at a situation to understand it. And that is us about 1 year ago on top of the Eiffel Tower. We are at the tippity top of the Eiffel Tower. Traveling gives you more perspective on how other people live. Yeah, I've mentioned before, I can't wait to travel this summer. I will be going to China, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Dubai, places where people live very differently from Americans. I know when I traveled to India last summer, it gave me more perspective on how other people live.
It's the latest step in an escalating energy crisis on the island. And our ABC News contributor and military analyst, Colonel Steve Ganyard, joins us now for a little more perspective here. All right, so this comes amid this looming humanitarian crisis. So how did we get here?
Well, if Cuba needs 100,000 barrels a day of oil just to keep the lights on, they now only have 40,000 barrels of oil a day because all the oil that had been coming from Venezuela, the oil that had been coming from Mexico, has been cut off. And so now you have an economy that's already been on the rocks, on the ropes, and now you take away 60% of what they need just to basically survive. So we're getting to the point where collapse is at least in view of not only the Cuban economy, but the Cuban society. So there's no oil in Cuba the way there is in Venezuela, where you can tap into those reserves and magically a whole bunch of money appears to save the island.
What if something is looming? That means something bad or difficult is about to happen. There is a looming humanitarian crisis in Cuba. The students were worried about the looming deadline for their big project. And you can see in that picture, it looks like it is due in about 2 days. For the next couple, we are going to talk about idioms like keep the lights on the rocks again, a different way we use it, and on the ropes. Let's first talk about what it means to keep the lights on. As you can see, it is an idiom and it means to have just enough money to continue operating or living. This is often used for businesses. The shop isn't making a big profit, but they are making enough to keep the lights on. In other words, the owners are not getting rich, but they are making enough to get by, we might say. On the rocks, one is definitely more fun than the other. This first one, it means likely to fail or having serious problems. And in the picture, we can see there are two people. Maybe they are married and maybe their marriage is on the rocks. I don't know. Let's read the sentence and we will find out. Their marriage has been on the rocks for a long time and they might get divorced. Now, this one, if you drink alcohol, this one is better. On the rocks. In other words, rocks here means ice. Let's get the official definition. This is alcohol served in a glass with ice cubes. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be alcohol, but you never hear of like milk or orange juice being served on the rocks. He ordered a whiskey on the rocks at the bar. What if something is on the ropes? On the rocks and on the ropes can mean something similar. Let's get the official definition. Being close to defeat or giving up in a very bad situation. So that couple from earlier, we could say that their marriage is on the ropes. Here is a sentence that goes along with the picture. The team was on the ropes near the end of the game, but they managed to win. So maybe they were doing really well at the beginning, but towards the end, the other team was starting to come back, like getting closer to winning. Society. What does that mean? Society. That is a large group of people living together in an organized way. Education is very important for a healthy and successful society. Another English phrasal verb. I'm not sure I have ever taught this one on the channel before. To tap into something, that means to use or get something valuable from a source, like energy, money, or knowledge. If you are going to take the IELTS or the TOEFL exam, you really need to tap into your knowledge of English. Take a look at the picture. I can see a map of India in that picture. The company wants to tap into new customers in India. Congratulations, you made it to the end of another English lesson. Don't forget, right up there, if you would like to sign up for my newsletter and get weekly written English lessons, take a look at that QR code or the link in the description. Right down there is another news story about Venezuela and the United States. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.